So, some of you might be asking yourself, and I agree, why is the world famous Clampy the Ramcharger back in the garage? Last time we worked on Clampy, we gave him 411s. We gave him a new intake, carburetor, valve covers, gaskets, air cleaner, a whole 9 yards, and I gotta say, all that has worked really, really well. It idles, it runs really well. The problem is, and I'm not sure if you can see it, so if you look into there, you see all this coolant. And I thought that was something major. I thought I blew a head gasket or something. Clampy would just spontaneously seem to run out of coolant. And I didn't know why. And it took me a while. I was about to tear everything back apart. Looked at buying a new engine, this and that. When I just happened to notice one day, right in here, not sure if you can see it, but there's a hairline crack running right along there. And that tells me whenever this sucker got hot, and I mean hot, it would blow and steam out here and just coat the whole rest of the engine. And honestly, I've patched this sucker before. This is your average Dodge 2-core radiator setup, stock. You know, not that Clampy's a powerhouse, but it's just not. It doesn't befit the rest of the engine bay. Even though I'm not going to clean it because it doesn't befit Clampy to have a clean engine. So we're going to replace it with this guy. Sorry for spinning you so fast, but this guy came from Amazon. He was $230, which if you know a whole bunch about radiators, that's not bad. I looked on Summit Racing. They had a stock replacement one for like $160, but then I'd be right back in the same boat I am now. Their next upgraded one was like $1,100, and I'm sorry, Clampy's not getting an $1,100 radiator, but he will. I have no problem with spending $230. So let's get this out, make sure everything kind of lines up and looks right before I take this out and essentially turn this into a immovable object until I get everything changed over. Because if it doesn't line up from the get-go, it's probably not going to line up later. Yeah, I did that a long time ago when I thought I had a head gasket. Put that copper stuff in there. Plug up leaks, which it worked for a little while. But I think it's time to just do it. Alright, we're gonna crawl underneath and see if we can drain her. So, it looks like we're in luck. Oh, there's that bolt I lost. And yes, I do have a bucket down here. Although, I think it's going to be a bloodbath. Oop. Get out of there. Oh, some of it's going in the bucket. Good deal. Hope I didn't ruin my camera. I can't tell if you can see that. But bring it now. Sorry about the noise of the rain and draining a Clampy, but I'd say this is a pretty decent unit. It doesn't look like there's any damage from shipping. Seems to have everything in the right place. I might go ahead and run to my local hardware store and get some plugs for that. Or I could do it later. We'll see. That's for, I think, the trans cooler. Yeah, everything looks exactly the same. Let's go ahead and take some hoses off. Well, that wasn't doing me any good. But yeah, we'll get some hoses off while that drains. At least we could take the top hoses off and start undoing the fan shroud stuff. My plan is to take the fan shroud and just kind of set it back, drop the new radiator in, bolt the fan shroud back up. We should be good to go. So let's see what we got going on. Huh, never had that happen before. Looks like I need a hose clamp. Alright, that thing's out of the way. Now, oops, yep, that thing's gone now too. It looks like the shroud's a couple 1/2-inch bolts. Oops. Wrong socket set. Uno momento, por favor. Look, there is a bolt in there. Get the bottom radiator hose off, and then this sucker should be just about ready to pull out. So you'll just have to take my word that I disconnected the lower radiator hose and it went unsurprisingly unceremoniously, other than I got a whole bunch of coolant in my ears. But where we're at now is we got the shroud pushed back, and we just got 1, 2, 3 and 4 bolts to take out, and we'll be ready to lift this radiator out, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do, because I really would like to reuse the shroud, just because I think it helps pull a lot more air. You know what I mean? It helps pull air through the radiator. So I don't know if I'll be able to take, I think I'll be able to take these brackets off. We'll get it out and I'll show you what I mean. So I got you moved up and into clampy a little bit, so I'm hoping that you get a better view. But if not, sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. This is pretty much it. Your results may vary a little bit, but thus far it's been all 1/2-inch bolts for this guy. Now, honestly, I think this bottom one you just need to loosen. Oops, there went my screw bee driver. And all right, what am I stuck on? That fuel line for one. Ha ha. Well, let's suffice to say somebody's already been here before and modified this a little bit. Yep, and they did it on both sides. So I do have to take both bottom bolts out. Like I said, I do. Your results may vary. But I'll be able to show you that too in a minute. Well, the good news is, now that I have them side by side, what I was worried about was this guy right here not having some place to bolt up, but it does in fact have a place for that. The only thing it does not have, and this is actually kind of tragic, is it's supposed to like sit down on this notch and then bolt through it, but somebody has drilled some holes that weren't there to begin with. And because they drilled some holes, because they did some interesting modifications, so I will have to re-drill those holes, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. I don't know if I can get to them from the front or not. We'll see. I mean, like, ideally I'd like to straight through, but no promises. Or I could just mark them. Well, let me see what I come up with. So sometimes you gotta take a step back and do a little bit of what I call forensic auto mechanics. And I know my lighting's a little bit bad, but I noticed these guys. And there's a couple of them on it. Remember all those 1/2-inch bolts I took out? Well, forget them, because there's one there. There's one down there. Now somebody took, and you can see it probably best from the front, and knocked the guts out of that side. Got a big honking hole there. They actually folded it, you know, back around here. It's in the corner. Hold on. Let me see if I can get you a better light. Yeah, you see what they did there? And this, like, even if I folded that back over and pounded it all straight, this here, right there, is the, that square is where I think that other square was, and it's gone. So even if I did fold it back over, there's no way to bolt it back up the way it was correctly. But we're going to adjust a few things. What I'm going to do, I think, is because even if I drill that hole in the same spot on this rad as I do on the other rad, that's not very much sheet metal there. Oh, right. Yeah, see, you're right there on that edge. So what I'd like to do, and what I'm going to do, is I'm going to set it down on that corner like this, and rotate it over, and then put these bolts in, and then run them all tight. And then I do want to run 4 bolts, because, you know, I don't want any flappity, and then it gets in my fan, and then all kinds of bad things happen. So I'm going to drill it. I just haven't decided exactly how. And put another bolt, probably it'll probably go up above a little bit, but we'll have to reset and readjust. All right, that's where I'm at. All right, we're sitting on that side. Oops. Bolt on this side. on that side. All right. Let's draw this tight. You know what? Honestly, I don't think that sucker's going anywhere. I hate to say it, but I mean, I can't move it with my hand, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's just leave it like that. I know that sounds crazy, but bear with me. I've done crazier before. But now, haha, yeah, that figures. None of them bolts fit. So, looks like it's going to be 1/4 inch bolts for the win. Alright, and then I'll have to trim this guy up just a smidge. Get a new hose clamp on him. Yeah, none of the 1/2 inch headed bolts I took out fit. So, yeah. Here we go. So, after raiding the stash, I found some bolts and nuts. Bolts and nuts and nuts and bolts. Let's and upon closer inspection, of course, I need longer bolts. Damn it. Even longer bolts. let's see if I can find a small hose clamp. That. Alright. From here on, it's going to be pretty much just clean it up and Oh, sorry, put the lower hose on, but I'm not taking you down there for that because, well, it's messy. And I like my camera. I'm not one of those highfalutin millionaire YouTubers who can just destroy a GoPro every half hour. So, yeah, we'll get back to you. Alright, times like these can be a great opportunity to use up all your half-used jugs. Well, let's start her up and see what happens. The noise, but as you can see, we're rolling down the highway. Clampy, honestly, right now the Ramcharger is not getting above about 160 degrees, which is kind of disappointing. I mean, it is, you know, almost December in Pennsylvania, but it's like 50 degrees. So